Hello everyone, it's been a while. It's also been a while since I last fished here at Swanlands. So I do have a festival on here in a couple of weeks time before this match. So I just want to get myself down, get a little bit of practice in on the matches, see how the fish are feeding, how they're responding to certain things, and try and get a plan for the festival. So I've drawn peg 4, which the nemesis John Bell has told me has not been good for quite a while. However, it looks fishy. I mean, there's reeds everywhere. You know, you've got an island to go to like this, and I've got a margin. I've got plenty of features, and I know this place has got a lot of skimmers in it and carp, but when you've got an island like this, which has got reeds, especially when I've seen the carp bashing at them, I've got to have a go. So to start with, I've decided to fish up to the island where the reeds are. So there's a couple of ways I could do that. In fact, there's 3 ways I could do it. I could go tight up with the pole, do it this way where I'm just off the island and just swing out a rig to it, or I could just use a feeder, a method feeder. I could easily put that in there, but I've decided to go for this first. I just want to see if those fish are shallow at the other side or if they're deep. So I'm just pinging out pellets like you've just seen there, flicking out the rig over it and just seeing if they are taking it. If they're taking it properly in the mouth, then I'll continue to do this until it stops working. But I need to see how they're having it first of all. If I'm foul looking fish or losing a lot of fish, then I will change it. So the rig I've got set up, it's basically nearly the full length of my top kit. I'm about a foot deep, and I'm just using one of my T-Nut slapper floats, which is a 0.3 float. I've got all the stots underneath the float. I just want the pellet to drop slowly and naturally. I'm using a 6mm pellet, and I'm feeding 4mm pellets. Now the 4mm pellets will sink slower, and that's good, because if these fish are shallow, then that's going to keep them shallow. But obviously if they are going to the deck, then it doesn't matter. There's loads of little pellets on the deck waiting, and my 6mm pellet's going to really stand out if I decide to go over the deck, or whatever other bait I decide to use. Well, my hook has just pinged out there while it was in the net, so I don't know if I got it in the mouth or if I got it in the body. I've got a feeling I got it in the mouth. The fish did behave really well, so I'm going to continue to keep it at this shallow rig, flicking it in until I've got a reason to change it. I'm also having a good look around, like you've just seen me there, have a little look, seeing how other people are catching, seeing how my catch is comparing to theirs, because if they're catching better, then I know I've got to change something. So far, I'm confident I'm still doing the right thing. So that carp was definitely in the mouth, so I'm going to continue to keep doing this until I feel like obviously they're foul looking or whatever. So on we go. So I've just fed 3 or 4 lots of catapulted pellets. I'm doing that for a reason. You know through shallow fishing that if you do keep feeding quite regular, you will see them competing for it, see backs out of the water, stuff like that. I'm just trying to get some signs. I'm not overly confident that this is going to be the right thing the whole match, and I need to know when they're changing. So if they're not coming up for those pellets, then I need to get on the deck. So I'm going to keep feeding it as if I were shallow fishing. I am technically shallow fishing because I'm fishing quite shallow, but it is only shallow over there anyway. But it's more to see how they're responding to those pellets going in. So that is a decent F1. You can see my rig is a bit deeper there, so I have changed it to a deeper depth because I know they had gone down a bit, and we can see we've got it in the fin, so it's not in the mouth.
The first one took shallow, but all the rest are in foul up, so I know they don't want it like that.
So my dad has popped down for a couple of hours to watch some fishing. Very surprising because it's pouring it down, but whatever.
No.
So I've just told him I know that they're not taking it right up in the water anymore, so I've got the plummet out. I'm going to go on the deck and I'm going to try some corn. I'm convinced now that they are feeding on the deck. So what I'm going to do now is just catty some pellets over it and just wait for the bite each time that I go in.
It will do. In fact, let's use his heads here a bit.
So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to move all the shots from the top where my float is to the bottom now, because I'm fishing on the deck, and that is definitely what I'm going to be doing. All the shots can go straight to the bottom. Let's get that corn down as quick as possible and get on them fish.
And that's the biggest waggler fish I've ever had, that. They're like margin fish, them, aren't they? You up? Where is it? Yeah. Ooh, ooh. Got him.
Just had a quick look behind me to make sure I'm not hitting my dad or the tree. There is quite a lot of bushes and trees here at Swanlands which can be behind you, so you do need to be careful, especially when you pull in large pieces of pole behind you and going left and right.
Well.
So if you've never fished here before, obviously keep an eye out for stuff like that. Amazing fishery, full of big skimmers, 3 to 5 pound, and some real massive carp, and some good size F1s as well.
Is it mouth?
So you've just heard me there say it's in the mouth, because that is my priority right now. I know there's a lot of fish there, and it's about getting the right tactic for it. Like I said, there's 3 ways that I could be over there. If they're completely on the deck and they're going to be foul looking all the time and I'm going to be losing fish on the pole, it might be better off just throwing a feeder across, a method feeder. So this is what I'm trying to establish. Once I know that this is right, I'll be fine and I'll leave it how it is. But I've got to be convinced by it, so I'll get 2 or 3 fish on it. If they're all in the mouth, I'm happy. If I do start to foul up fish, then that's when I'll probably throw a feeder out.
When you have a short lash at long range like this, it bounces too much, you get tangled. As soon as you strike, hit that one, didn't we?
So fish on. Now that fish has come out lovely out of that swim, and that is usually a good sign that you've got that fish in the mouth. If you foul look them, normally they're straight through the reeds or trying to get into the island, they go absolutely ballistic. But you saw I got the bite, took it well, and it swam straight out. So I'm confident that we're definitely doing the right thing now, being on the deck with that corn, a nice heavy bait that's going to sit much better with them pellets getting pinged across. I feel like the fish are happy with that, they're comfortable, and this is the right thing to do. Well, this fish is putting up a real good battle. It feels like ages since I've had carp. I have fished through the winter, through the Chestnut Winter League, but there's only really the odd match where you get onto these real big dogs, and that is
Proper
a cracking fish.
Proper fish. You know what you want. Proper fish. I've done well to get that bugger out. He's got a knock in his face here. See if I can get that out of his face for him. Poor lad. Got a knock in his side cheek. If I can get it for him. There we go. It's his own fault for being too strong. Oh, it's a good one, isn't it? Yeah.
So just doing a bit of fish care. Once I got my hook out, I could see that there was another hook stuck in the side of that fish's face. I've took that out. You will see that a lot through the summer. The fish have got a lot more energy. The big fish, they will break you off near reeds and any kind of snag they can find. So if I do see any hooks stuck in fish, I will always take them all out. And I like to think it gives you a little bit of carp karma as well. You do one good thing and you get something back. So maybe his big brother will come along and jump in my net for me. So while I'm playing this fish, please hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, please do that too. It's completely free and I don't want you to miss any of my future videos. Thank you.
Is that down on it? No interest. No interest in coming out of this fish. No, it's just a odd git. Another good fish. It's bigger than the fight it put up. Yeah, I'll give him a 6.
So you've just heard me say to my dad there, yeah, we'll give him a 6. That's a 6-pounder in my estimation. And what a beautiful looking fish it were. Absolutely trying to pull my arm off. They are some amazing fighting fish here at Swanlands. The other lake, that one's in today as well, Cherry. I think they've got 10 anglers on there. I did actually want to be on that one in this match, because there's some real massive margin fish in there, and I fancied the weights off that one to beat the weights off this one, so I've really got to go for it if I want to A, be in the paying places, and B, try and beat the other lake. But so far I feel like I'm doing what I can do that's best for my peg.
It was definitely a different looking fish that come out, weren't it? That other one must have shot out when it hooked this one. Yeah, loads here. I'm just trying to nick as much as I can before we get to that point.
So I've just said there to my dad, I'm trying to nick as many as I can before I get to that point. So we're just talking about the margins. I like to have at least £40 of weight before the last 2 hours of any match. Because I always fancy that I could do £60 out of a margin. So I'm just really trying to make it work here. I've not fished it here, like I said, for at least a year. So I've no idea how the margins are even operating, how they're working, if the fish even still come into them as much as they used to do. But I've got a great margin now on that left side. I am going to be going down there at some point. If not, I can go straight back over here again. It's not a problem, but your margin fish are always much bigger. So if you can get that working, that's definitely a priority.
I think he's on that belly him, you know. He's not, is it, mouth? Where we want it.
So we're still continuing to get them in the mouth, so this is definitely how they wanted to feed, over there on the deck. Happy days.
Alright, little mouth. He's done well to swallow that. Must feed through a straw, him.
So I've just bullied that one away from the island. As I hooked him, he did try his hardest to get through the rushes and everything else, but I managed to boss him out. Come on, baby. Well, that F1 is in beautiful condition. The last couple of fish have just started to get a bit smaller, so I am going to start going down that margin at some point. I do know that peg 14, which is to my left in the corner, has had some real big fish. I know peg 8's been catching, it's always going to. Peg 7's been catching, or 6, whichever one it's on. So there's definitely a lot of fish getting caught other than the ones that I'm catching. So I do need some bigger fish at some point. Well, that's definitely an improvement, so happy days. I'll keep going across there, try and get some better fish. I will go down the margin at 4 o'clock. The match doesn't finish until 6. I will only go down earlier if I see signs, so I will always feed it at about 2.5 hours to go. If I see a sign, then I will go earlier, but ideally I'll go down with 2 hours to go. Well, this fish is putting up a really good fight, and it's obviously a good size fish. This is a 12 to 14 elastic, so it's decent. I've got quite a lot of it pulled out as well, so it's not like I'm trying to teach it how to swim or anything. It's just a stubborn old fish.
It's a big fish. Oh, bloody hell. That's a big fish. Calm yourself down, and this gets a lot easier fish. Thank you. Thank you. 25.
Well, that is a mega fish, way too big to be going in my first net. I'm getting towards limits. There's a £70 limit here. I like to stick to about 50, 55 because it's easy to get it wrong and they can weigh a lot more than what you think, especially here. So I put him in that second net knowing he would definitely put me over that £55 limit in the first net. And that is another really good fish. So this island has really provided some bangers for me.
Good lad.
So I've popped that one in the first net, and that will definitely finish that first net now. It was just the right size that I needed to hit that 55-50 barrier. So the big cup has gone out, so it's always a big cup of micros, straight down the margin. and then I'm going to go over it on the deck with a piece of corn. Every time I catch a fish, I will automatically refeed it with a big cup of micros and reset the process all over again. Fish on. Lovely take. So this is 20 elastic. It's the MAP hybrid stuff. I absolutely love it. It's in a white matte short shallow kit. Not really designed for 20 elastics, but I'll put it in anyway. I use it on my margin pole. I do not use it on my main pole. My margin pole's absolutely fantastic, super strong. I have every bit of confidence in it, just like I have every bit of confidence in these MAP top kits that go with it. So perfect setup. I can really get some power on them, and because this elastic, being a hybrid, will stretch quite a bit more than what you realise, I feel like if they do really need to go, even though it's in a shallow kit, they can still get a fair bit of distance if really needed to, without everything going kaboom.
Beautiful fish.
And straight away you can tell the difference between the margin carp and the island carp. What a unit. So straight back down the margin. Before I went down, I will have fed it with a big cup of micros like I said earlier. They are big fish. You've got to keep putting it in if you want to keep them coming in. If you don't, they'll just move on to the next person that is. So don't be afraid to really put that bait in. So we've got a lovely view there of my margin float. It's a T-Nook margin float. It's a 0.4, real thick tip, so it makes visibility excellent. Really tough, really hard to break. It's a carbon stem. It takes 6 number 8s, and I've got them all in a bulk shot just above the uplink. Absolutely cracking float. Every confidence in it, and no worries that my float's going to get destroyed or anything like that. You can see how quickly this elastic just gets these fish under control. These are big margin fish, they've got plenty of space to bolt out into, loads of features to target, but this elastic just absolutely puts the brakes on them. I absolutely love this stuff. I've just put a cad cup on because I know there's a lot of bait down there now, and I reckon I can get away with just a bit of a cad cup. I've just popped it in. Boom. Fish on. That quick. Once you've got them there, you don't need to keep feeding loads, but you need to keep feeding to get them there in the first place. But once they are there, often between feeds you can get away with just putting a cad cup in, and you might sneak another 1 or 2 out before you put another big cup in. So we've got them really going now. I'm really happy with how I've fished it today, especially at the island, and now I've got them ticking in the margin. The margin ones are your match winners because they are usually far bigger than the fish you're going to catch anywhere else in the pond or lake or wherever. So this is living the dream. I couldn't think of a better scenario than what's happening right now. And what a cracking margin fish to end on. Absolutely beautiful common carp, nicely in the mouth. Despite all that bait being in there, they're still taking it really well. Really happy how this match has gone. Let's find out what we weighed.
I certainly can't do 3.
27, 37.
4 fish for 37.
Oh, I'll stop somewhere you're bleeding thing. 37.10.
97.
No mate, I ain't got, what did I say that? I've got 8, what did I say, 90 didn't I? Except for the last hour I've had that. Couldn't get them out. I tried.
You bringing them weird, Adam? No mate, are you bringing them weird? You tried them.
Proper dogs them, aren't they?
Get you to put the car on. Where's your stick on?
Proper dogs them. £60 that, isn't it?
Oh, now. You ought to be.
50, 60 that, isn't it?
Catching them.
Yep.
£60.
60? Yeah.
Yeah, £60 and 14 ounces.
Ooh.
£98 8 ounces.
Ooh, you took the lead. How winning up to now?
£98.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes, she caught well, yeah.
I know she did that.
Top pond.
4 big fish.
Yeah, top pond, yeah. It's not the pond you want to put her on, the monsters in there, but
I know.
it was nice for her
Big
to,
enough.
yeah, it was nice for her to feel some power.
Felt some power.
It's a fish, she felt it.
I watched it.
£30. 5.
Well done, Tony. Well done, mate.
Lie straight in bed.
Get them skin bobs.
It's not hard enough.
First night has been harder.
44. 3.
Oh well,
70.
75.8.
I got 74 8, yeah. 74.8.
Same in other net.
This is little net.
Can't tell me too much.
Tiddlers.
Well done, mate.
You got it.
44.
Got that wrong, didn't I?
44.6.
Oh, thank you.
If I fell in, I might be drier.
Won't go in that way. Come out.
Well done, mate. Ooh, steady on.
Is that more today than is that all winter?
16-12.
61.2.
Oh, go on, Dennis!
How many next rods?
Just
You
the
got
two.
any in round corner.
Just the two.
Needing.
Yeah, one
Does he do it?
Staked out round corner.
I wish.
You do it, Paul.
Well, you run it.
Yeah, I'll type it in this.
34 dead. That's a lovely order.
It does, doesn't it?
If there's any in the house.
That's a good net of fish.
Drinking it fast enough to put it in there.
That's a really good net of fish. Well done, Rog.
We'll set up to it.
38,
34.
34. 53. 53.9.
87.9.
This.
Well done, Rog.
Well done.
Well done, Rog.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Down there.
Yeah.
I think.
Like a black lap.
Yeah.
And then when it wet, it just went.
They were playing about some island. I'm looking at them thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got one when we were all there.
Oh, yeah.
Lost some off there.
Yeah, I've lost I think about 10 of.
I know it is there.
£50
I
dead.
kept thinking,
Oh.
dog.
Yeah, lovely. Be close. Be close.
£50
Oh, you speak before I told you, said you only had 80.
and 7.
Well done, mate.
£50 and 7.
That's £100, isn't it?
£100, 7 ounces.
£50 to me there.
You don't want to be king at castle.
Clicker said 50.
56.11.
And there's only 40 in this one.
Let it be now.
There's only 40 my last hour let me down. £40.
Another one speaks before tongue.
104. 48.9. 48 something. 48.9.
I done it.
Yep.
I did not think I had that.
Oh, we'll cut.
I did not think I had that. I mean, honest.
I've only gone and won it. It's been a year, terrible peg, and I managed to do it. And that's because I've just used the features and tried to figure it out. It's all you can do. So it doesn't matter if you think a peg's not great. You never know how those fish are going to behave on that day and what's going to be there. Just try and figure out how they want it. And then after that, the weight will be what it will be. It was over 2 lakes. I managed to beat the lads on the second lake as well. So I got the top weight overall. Really happy with that. Top result. Big thank you as always to my fans, and the ladies 6.4% from my last video. That is a high number. I think we can beat 10% this year. Let's go for it. If you would like to use any of the floats that you've seen in any of my videos, go onto Facebook, like this page, I'll approve it. We post daily, usually £1.35 to £1.40 per float. Go and grab yourself a bargain. And with sadness, I just want to say a thank you to Tony Shumway Roberts. You lot won't know her, but she actually was a super fan. She did contact me, and she actually gave me quite a bit of money to buy some recording equipment. I didn't want it, I felt awkward about it, but she insisted. She really did encourage creativity. She was a YouTuber herself, and it really breaks my heart to know that she's no longer with us. But thank you so much, Tony. And wherever you are, I hope you're smiling down on everyone.
Up the T-Nucks.